Hi, this is Joachim. I'm living here in North Germany in Bremen. And I have the desire to share things with you because I believe life has so much more for us than what we usually experience. I can very well imagine that everyone has areas in life where you would like to improve. Some people have areas in life where it is, a relationship or finances, or just growing in terms of having more freedom, become more yourself, or having a different job, or having a better job. If we take all the four quadrants of life, which is time and money, freedom, the vocation, which everything is related to your job or career, well-being and health, and also relationship, we always have areas where we like to improve. And I studied neuroscience. And in neuroscience, we found out, or neuroscience found out, that we have a mind. We have a brain, and our brain has different layers where we store information and where personality and our character is being created. And a lot of things, what we carry around with us, what is dominating our behavior, our reaction patterns, and even the achievements of our lives is all stored in our subconscious mind. And that got into there through conditioning. And when we think about problems we have, when we want to expand something, improve something, in most cases, we are dealing with symptoms and we are not dealing with the root cause. It is the same like you having a very bad toothache and you take painkillers in order to get rid of the toothache. And I know the toothache can be really painful, but in the end, the painkiller does not solve the problem. You might be able to soothe the pain and get rid of the pain for a time, but eventually the tooth might die, get really bad if you don't do anything against it, or even worse, you have some kind of infection, inflammation, the whole body gets bad, which is possible. So if you want to repair the root cause, we have to think about and deal with the tooth itself, not just with the pain. And when we think about results in our lives, salespeople would like to improve their sales. Business people would like to improve the revenue, and so many people, they have relationships that suck. And then they try to do something about the relationship. Whereas the root cause is much more inside ourselves. Well, that is something what most people don't like to hear, and they don't believe it. I'm not sure about you, but in the beginning, when I was studying about this, I just couldn't believe it. I'm a salesperson. I was working in engineering and technical sales. I love this stuff. So in order to improve sales, I always believed, tell me other things I have to say, give me something to, some better information, and then I can sell better. Well, that is not true. It is helpful, that's for sure. But if you want to improve things in your life, it has to go down. You have to deal with something inside your brain, and actually not just the brain, inside your mind. So what am I talking about? We have a physical body, right? That's where we live in. We live in this body. We are not this body, but we live in this body. What I mean about that, we live in the body. It's quite simple. You are aware of your body. We have all these senses. We call this 5 senses. We can feel, we can see, I can hear, smell, taste, we can touch. So we have these 5 senses. And actually, physically talking, we have many more senses. We have 3 different temperature senses in the skin. We have so many senses inside the body, sensors which tell us how our intestines feel like when you have stomach pain. All this is, different kind of sensual factors what we have. So actually we have these 5 senses, but actually we have much, much more. But then this is just our physical body with all the senses. You can find the senses. You can see the taste buds, what we have on the tongue. But then there is more. You know, if you just focus and concentrate, you know how the body feels. You realize that something is, you know, where you sit, and you realize that you move your arms, you can close your eyes, and then you know where the fist is, you open the fist. All this is what you feel and what you sense. That's what you do with your brain and with your mind. You are aware of this. But now the next level is you can have situations, and you have experienced a situation, but maybe even right now, you can listen to your own talking. You know, do you remember when last time you had to make a decision? You can listen to one side, the other side. One is pro, one is contra. You weighing, what should you decide, what should you go for, and then you have different voices. Or if you want to do something, and then one voice is telling you, "Are you nuts? Don't do this." Or if something is not going the way how you would like it, and then the one voice might tell you, "You are a stupid idiot. How can you do that?" I have experienced all this, and I am experiencing all this, and sure, for you do the same thing. You have experience with that. So then the question is, who are the voices inside you? And you can listen to the voices, and you have emotions about these voices. You get upset. Well, come on, shut up. Why are you talking to me why are you trying to talk me out of this? So you have the voices inside you. And the question is, who then is listening? Who is listening? And despite a voice which is trying to talk you out of something, you decide, you make the decision of going against that voice and do what you want to do. So there is the question, who is that you? Who makes the decision? And here it is where it becomes very interesting. This you is what I was told, what we can call a soul. That means we don't have a soul. It means we are a soul. The real me, the real you, that is where we make decisions. And when we talk about, for example, spirituality, that's what we're talking about. Our spirit, our mind, and you know, the real me, the real you, the real I am. That's so fascinating. And here is where we have to start when we want to change something. That's where all things happening. When we make decisions, when we want something, when we think about something, that's where all the things are happening. Good thing is, when we talk about the mind, where we make decisions, we have a free spirit, we have a free mind. We can decide whatever we want, and we can decide what we want to think. It's true. You can decide what you want to think. And the fact is that if you decide to think something, nobody has the power to talk you out of it. If you don't want to change your way of thinking, if you don't want to think certain things, nobody can force you to think what you don't want to think. That's where you have real freedom. And that is where you make decisions. And if you want to change something in your life, whatever area it is, that's where you have to start. The way how you think. Well, if you think from above, you know, let's imagine our mind, our soul, us, me, you, the I, it's the top. It goes down into the brain, it goes down into the emotions, into the body. And then we do something. So if I think about something very positive, let's say I had a fantastic, beautiful vacation in Norway once. It was so wonderful. When I think about that, I can feel how great it was. And when I have this kind of emotion and I then do something, I will have a very different result if whatever I do than if I think something negative. I have experienced a lot of negative things in my life. So if I think about that, I might get even angry about this, and I have the negative emotions. And if I do any kind of business or work on relationship or whatever, it's not going to work because I have these negative emotions. And when you do certain things with negative emotions, you will have certainly negative results. If you have kids, if you have children or a spouse, and you are really in a bad mood because you are thinking something very negative, you will not have that patience to deal with them. So when you try to teach the kids a lesson and you are in a negative mood, it's not going to work out. You will become very aggressive and the kid will sense it immediately. But if you feel good, you have much more patience and you can deal with them in a very different, much more helpful way. These are just few examples. A salesperson who is in a bad mood or who feels bad will not be able to sell. If you really feel strong, have positive emotion, that's when you can sell very well. So it all comes down to what you think, right? That's where you should try to start. Think something very positive and get used to positive thinking. I know it sounds so like a stereotype. Everybody nowadays talks about positive thinking. It's not that kind of thinking what I mean. I just mean that you can condition yourself to put yourself into an emotional state where you can deal with any kind of problem in a much better way. I will come back on this channel and you will hear many, many more things on this channel here on YouTube. And I just like to share this because this information has helped me so much. My life has improved. Every area of my life has improved. And I so much wish that people can feel the same way how I feel. I'm convinced if people feel better, the whole world will feel better. Your world will be better. My world has improved substantially. I wish you happiness in life and fulfillment. Well, this is Joachim from North Germany.